Stories and knowledge, cells and costumes. You are now tuned in to the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Mike TV.
And that's Gen Diz.
In today's episode, we're unlocking the magic of the Walt Disney Archives and hearing firsthand from those who have explored its legendary treasures. I'm gonna redo that one. Woo! Sometimes you write these things yourself and you still can't say them. Okay, I'm going to try this again and then I'm going to fix it in
What's
the.
on today's episode, Jen?
Well, I'm glad you asked. In today's episode, we're unlocking the magic of the Walt Disney Archives and hearing firsthand from those who explored its legendary treasures. From the roots of the Disney Empire to a few of our own magical misadventures, we've got a lot to share, so let's dive in.
Yeah.
Woo! All right. So, I wanted to kick things off with a quick shout out to the Santa Ana Flea Market. Why am I doing this? Because it's cute and I want to. Just saying. One thing I've learned from moving as a Disney park local now is that there's a lot of Disney themed things to do,
So
right?
many. So
So
many.
many. Like outside of Disney, non-official, like we just don't have that going on anywhere further than like a couple hours from Disneyland, right? But now it's like all over the place. So I'm trying to go to as many of these things as possible and check them out. And the first one I got to do was the Santa Ana Flea Market, which is a recurring flea market, but they have like themed nights and they bring out different vendors and try to
Oh,
keep even the recurring vendors, they get a little more focused on whatever the theme is. So this was a Disney night, of course, which is why I went out. Um, I will say it was fun. It was cute, but it was a little small. No, it was a
oh,
lot of small. I don't know what
oh.
I was expecting. I've been to a lot
Okay.
of flea markets and they're like usually pretty big. This one was pretty small. You can easily go and do a walkthrough and check everything out in like a half hour. So if that's your jam, it's like in a really cute downtown Santa Ana area also. So like if you want to go have dinner and take a stroll, it was a night market, which I love anything in the
Ooh,
evening, right?
I love that. And even when they're small, it's nice, like you said, if it's in a neighborhood where you can still go and do other things
Yeah, there's
before and
so much to
after.
do. There's like
And
the
then
Brewcade is
if you
right
didn't
there.
know it was there, imagine just like walking into it not
Oh my God, I'd
knowing.
be so
That's the
excited.
best.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So it was a little small, so prepare yourself for that. And then some of the vendors like did not understand the assignment because they did
Oh,
not really have anything
whoops.
Disney in their booths. However, most booths did. Um, the Labubu, is that new?
Oh, don't get me started on Labubu.
Okay. I want to hear
Don't
what your
get.
thoughts are. However, I will just say Labubu, there was more Labubu than there was Disney at this thing. So
Oh,
it's a
wow.
new hot trend.
Was it Labubu like Disney clothing?
No, it's just
Oh,
a million boxes of Labubu.
interesting.
What are your
Fascinating.
thoughts on Labubu? I need to know.
I don't have too many thoughts. I just know that I've already decided I'm not going to collect it or think it's adorable or anything because it just seems like overwhelming. But then it turns out this person that's currently in my life right now is now obsessed with Labubu. And I'm like, what? And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get sucked into this. I know I am.
Yep.
But luckily, it's not the Disney part, which I think the overlap between the Disney and dressing them up in Disney things or putting them on my Disney bags, that's where I think I might get too excited about. But he is really into the which is kind of more expensive, the high-end designer, like the Louis Vuitton, the Chanel. They like dress them up like luxury diamond baths, and
Yeah, those things
that's
have better clothes than I do.
they have better clothes and they're expensive. I'm looking on eBay and some of these custom like jackets, and they're not even the real Louis Vuitton or like Balenciaga, like someone is making it. They're still like up to $1,000. And I'm like, what is going on? This is an expensive hobby. Are you sure you want to go down this path?
Bananas. I am so not here for Labubu. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Reason why? We've already seen this a million times. There's
It comes
nothing
to
new about this
yeah.
creature thing. We've seen this fuzzy character with the weird, scary face like since the early 2000s. Move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's move the frick on. Okay.
And Disney tried to because Pop Mart also, and I think we talked about this on a previous episode. Pop Mart, who makes Labubu, also released Disney ones, which I think is cute as companions, but for some reason it's that the Labubu with the ugly face and the sharp teeth that are collectibles. And it even reminds me of like it's like every 10 years something happens, even if it's not an ugly face, like Beanie Babies
Yeah, there's got to be
happen.
something.
Yeah. And then those like vinylmations were like a thing.
Oh my God, the vinyl
And
toy craze. I did get into that. But that was new.
it
We
was
didn't
new.
have designer
Yeah. And they're
graffiti
cool.
artist
I think they're
toys.
cool. The problem is, I really don't think they're worth anything unless you sell them during the hype,
Oh, for sure.
right?
For
Or
sure.
you wait
Yeah.
maybe 200 years
Yeah, you
and
have to
pass it
hold
on.
on to it. Yeah, exactly. So anyways, the
Okay.
flea market was very cute. They did have a raffle for two free Disneyland tickets, which I was super excited about. I got let's say the number, I can't remember. I think it was 6 digits long. They read my number, the exact number on my ticket, and they added an additional digit at the end of it. And I was like, wait, what? Are there some of these tickets that have a longer number? And then he's like, sorry, I added an extra zero.
Oh.
I was so mad. I was like shaking. I was like, I just freaking won. I never win these things. Did not win. So, anyways, moving on.
Wait, what? I'm so confused. So you did have the winning ticket, but they messed
No,
up. Oh.
he he had an extra zero in there. So, like,
Did anybody win it?
let's say it's a 4 digit number just to make it easy.
Yeah.
And the number I had was 1001, right? He said one, and he's reading off slow. 1001, 2. And I was like, because I'm already at four. I'm like, what? Like, I got it. I won, right? And then he added that two on. I'm like, what? And then everyone was confused. They all threw away their tickets. And he goes, I'm
Oh,
sorry. Got to redo. And then he's like, I put in an extra zero. It's actually 1002.
oh, and someone else had that ticket?
Someone else had it. Yeah. Boo
Boo.
hiss. So I was very excited for absolutely no reason. But that's okay. It was still very cute.
Yeah.
And it was nice of them to like have some kind of grand prize that you could, gather around and try to win. And that was cute. I liked it. But I wanted to give a couple shout outs. I met a couple of the booth owners and they're super nice, definitely Disney holics. And the reason I'm giving these two booths a shout out is because they really stood out to me. They both were doing things I've never seen done before. What? What? I saw there's people making ears at a booth. Been there, done that. There's people, whatever. There's a lot of stuff going on that we've already seen, right? But these are two creative, new things that I have not yet, or have yet to see.
Ooh, well, we want
Um,
to know what these are.
yeah. So the first one is Muro Originals. That's Muro Originals, Muro. Um, and you can find them on Instagram. I'm going to tag them in all our posts and everything too, so you guys can look them up. And they made these I don't know exactly how to explain it, but they are holders for your mini ears. They're like these
Oh.
long things that have like really cool decorative ends, like bookends almost, and you could hook your ears like in a row. So it's like a way to display them and like get them consolidated in a small space instead of them
Oh,
just like
not on your
flailing
head, but
around.
while you're displaying and storing them. Okay, that's
Yeah,
really
yeah. So
cool.
like if you want to put them on a shelf, you could probably fit like, I don't know, like 5 to 6 of them per little stand that they sell. And then the ends they're like caps on the end and they look like they're designed certain ways. Like for instance, one was the mailbox from Carl and Ellie's mailbox from
Ooh,
Up. And
from
then you
up.
could open the mailbox and you could put accessories inside there too. So
Okay, I
just very
like that.
cute,
I do
something
like that.
new and very functional as well as cute. So that was awesome. I know I have a lot of mini headbands. I like never wear them, but I have them and they're just like thrown in a one of those cubes and they're just like in there like a hot mess. So like having them like stacked and like put on something would be actually quite nice. So I'm probably gonna grab myself one of those at some point as well.
Well, that's
Another
at
thing he
Miro
had,
Originals.
Yep, at Miro Originals. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you to go look it up and then give me your on-the-spot review of what you think of these two different
Ooh.
booths. So check them out on Instagram, MURO Originals. And I'll tell you while you're looking them up, there's another thing that they did that I love. One, oh, they have like these balloons that you can hook a headband on and you pin them on your walls. Like you hang them all on your walls. They look
Oh.
like little balloons. Just another creative way to display your headbands, which I know is a big thing. Nobody knows what to do with all these headbands, right? Or loungefly. Loungefly is another problem. Like, what do we do with all these backpacks? They're bulky, they're big. How can I display them properly? So that's just a really cute way to do that. But one of the things I thought was really cute also was that he has these mirrors with like the picture like a face of let's pick a character.
Maleficent. I think that's
Maleficent.
what I'm actually looking at one of their
Oh,
mirrors right
great.
now.
So picture just her face and then her horns, right? So the top, her head. And then the face part is a mirror and then the horns are painted on. So it's like a real piece. And so when you put your face in the mirror, you become Maleficent. And it's just like a cute, they're small and also functional because they're mirrors, which you know I
Yeah,
love a good functional thing in
I love
general,
it.
right? So super cute. They had all the different characters, lots of villains. I saw like Ursula and Cruella de Vil um, on the table as well. And yeah, I just thought they were really fun, unique pieces to put up in your home. So what do you think?
I think it's so cute. I'm looking at a lot of their designs, and if you're just a pop culture fan that's a Disney crossover, like a lot of us are, it's really cool because the one that caught my attention was
Uh-oh.
actually the Scream mask of Ghostface,
Ooh.
and then you store your Mickey ears on top. Oh, I love that.
Yep.
And there's cute ones too. Like you said, there's some that match. So there's like the concha pastry that you can then put the concha mini ears
Headband.
on headband yeah, on. Oh yeah, I like this. I really like
Who's
it.
the character for that one?
Oh, is there this one
Oh,
is
I
just
don't know. You
it's
said it matches.
oh, it's just the same, they have the mini ears with the shell pastries on top. Then you
Yeah.
put it on top of a giant pastry that they made. Yeah,
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
it goes
Okay,
all
I was
together.
looking at, I was thinking a mirror. So I'm like, is it a character? What is it?
Oh yeah, this was
Got it.
another mini band holder. Love
So
these.
cute. Yeah. So that was really unique. Literally, I'd never seen that before. And then I will also give a shout out to Outer Child. You can find them on Instagram at outer outer dot child. Um, and Disney bounding is not new. T-shirts are not new, but having like color block, vintage style, cute, super cute t-shirts and sweatshirts. I just adored it. Everything at their booth, I was like, this is all so freaking cute. And I was in there having fun trying to name all the Disney bounds.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So did you look that one up?
Okay, so while I'm looking this up, can I share just something funny that some of our listeners and viewers might be entertained by behind the scenes? So, on our notes on today's episode, Jen, you put for me, um, Mike looks up while discussing. So, I was going to look
Uh-huh.
up. So, I was looking up into the camera this whole time, thinking you needed me to look up because maybe you're going to put a filter on or you were going to edit this for Instagram.
Oh my
So I
God.
had my Mariah Carey smile just looking at the camera, and I just now realized what you meant that I should be looking it up, you know, Googling it, which is why we need a producer out there that's on air with us. So if anybody wants to volunteer,
You're so funny.
we're always looking for someone to Google alongside our discussions. I feel so dumb.
That was, yes,
Uh,
thank you. That was hilarious. I wish I had caught on to your Mariah Carey smile into the camera, but I'm used to that one. So I
Used to
guess
it.
it's just
I
the
do it all
norm.
the time. You never know when there's going to be a photog around
That
or a
is
photo
very,
pass, Disney
very
Magic
true.
photo pass
Got to get ready
person.
for that paparazzi.
But outer child
Outer
who
child. Yep.
is a vendor at the weekend night market. I love their logo. So what I'm looking at is like this rainbow with a UFO and some, 70s sort of Woodstock vibes on their logo. And then
Hmm.
everything is so colorful on their Instagram
So colorful.
and very recognizable. I can immediately tell that if I see the certain blue, red, and gold, that it's Snow White, Disney bound. And there's one
Hmm.
that's a certain type of blue and yellow and white, and I could tell it's Donald Duck. And I think that's because they are pretty spot on with the color that they're choosing for these Disney
Yes.
bounds, like Pantone number color.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's great.
So good. And like I said earlier, like Disney Bound isn't the first time I've seen it. However, having an entire character on a t-shirt, right? Like they've hit all the colors of that t-shirt or of that character on one shirt or a
Yeah.
sweatshirt, right? And then what do you think of this style? It looks kind of like vintagey to me. Like I think we would have gone wild for those sweatshirts back in our like raver days.
Raver days. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like getting it from the thrift store, so like vintage, but like super cool. So like they're brand new, but they have that like vintage flair to it as well.
Yeah, I
And I
agree.
just love their catchphrase. It's clothing with character. Stop. Get it?
That is cute.
Get it? Get it? It's so cute.
It's infused with the character.
Yep. And they don't have any graphics either, which I also love because we all love a graphic tee, but we have so at Disney, that's all we have, right?
So
Just
many, yeah.
constant graphic tees. There's no graphics. It's literally just a shirt put together with all these amazing Pantones, like you said, to completely have the essence of a perfect Disney bound t-shirt or sweatshirt. So check them out. Lots of fun to be had on their Instagram. Super fun group of people as well. So thanks for you guys or all of you guys for having a chat with me and meeting with me at the flea market. And I hope to see you all again soon.
At Outer Dot Child, Disney
Yep.
bound clothing, get it there.
All right. Well, moving on. We did not get to talk about Pride last week. And now that Pride month is over, aw, but that's okay. We still want to talk about it. And I did get to attend Disney Pride Night again. It's one of the After Dark events. Gone in the past. I will not be skipping one. It is the best night, hands down,
Wow.
like easily. I had a first timer with me. We had also kind of talked about first timers on last week's episode as well, but this was a little different because I decided to take him to a special event because like what's a better intro to Disney? But you have to set their expectations though after that, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not always going to be like this, but man, it's an amazing night for someone to go for their first time in a long time or ever, right? Um,
Especially as an
Disney,
adult. Yeah.
yes, yep. And again, Pride Night is the closest you'll ever get to an all adult night. It was definitely not all adult. We noticed that there was a decent amount of kids there, but it's just so fun. Everybody's having such a great time the whole time. And this time I actually went on a lot of rides, which I never
Oh,
do. Um, Mainly because I'm not super impressed with the like the meetups and the special characters and stuff because they're just kind of like regular, like they don't have, anything crazy out for Pride. In comparison to like let's say a throwback
is it
night where
more
they
so
have all
the
these unique characters. Huh?
the outfits? Is it more so the outfits on the
Yeah, the
same characters? Yeah.
outfits and the backdrops
Oh yeah, the
are
backdrops.
unique. But yeah, the like, the characters not so much. So I just skipped. I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually gonna go on rides at one of these special events. So I got to like see that side of things, and it was exactly how you'd assume. No lines. Everything was so easy and fun to just breeze around. We got pretty much everything done in the evening that we wanted to get done. So yeah, all around really good time with Samson. Shout out Samson. I keep
Mhm.
giving him shout outs because he traveled through the Disneyland adventure with me, even though he hadn't been in so long, and he loved it.
And we love
Thank
to
you very
get the
much. Another Disney holic. Let's go.
yeah. We like to get
We
their
should have been
perspective
keeping
and
like,
report back.
yeah, we should have been keeping track of how many people we've converted into Disney holicism,
Ooh.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Dang it.
Now,
Um,
I have a question for you. I
yeah.
heard that Miss Diva of Derry herself, Clarabelle, is now the honored guest in the parade. and sits on the in the
Okay.
car.
This
It's
was
just
the worst part of the night for me. All I wanted to do was see Clarabelle running down and prancing and dancing and voguing on frickin' Main Street. We waited for the cavalcade. We had this jalapeno cheese pretzel in our hands and just like having the best time of our lives. And I was so excited for Samson to see Clarabelle rocking it, sitting in the frickin' fire truck. I was so mad. I was like,
oh my
what?
gosh.
Like, she is the
That's
diva of the night.
true Mariah Carey right there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, somebody should like carry her off the.
Yeah. They upgraded her to Grand Marshal. Now she's just gonna sit like the diva of Derry.
I was, I was like,
Um,
okay, fine, but absolutely not at the same time, you know?
I seen that got into my algorithm, people being disappointed that she wasn't dancing. I did see some comments that supposedly she got out in certain spots and did it and then went back in the car. I don't know.
Oh, you
Maybe.
know what? I didn't take the advice of a cast member that I saw earlier because I went over and asked him, like, what time are the cavalcades? I was just being lazy on because he's right there instead of me looking at my guide in my pocket. And he told me, he's like, this time and blah, blah, and they come from this way. He gave me like so much information I didn't need to know. But what he did say, he's like, this is a stop point right here. Um, and
Oh.
what I should have done is gone there, right?
Yeah.
Because you're right, they probably got out and did stuff, but they just kind of, it was like a real slow walk, though. I got to see it, what I thought was everything, but you're right, maybe I missed a little something there.
Interesting. But you know what?
Dang.
That means they're listening. They know that Clarabelle is very popular, especially when it comes to like fun parties and events and being
Yeah, she's the best.
sassy and shimmying. So I have a new friend that I met here that is actually dating one of my friends here. And he is a cast member and does Clarabelle and
You're not
says
supposed
it's
to say that, Mike.
oh no
He's
what he's a
friends of
friend of
Clarabelle.
Clarabelle. You know what's funny is I corrected him for saying that wrong.
Ah!
And now I
You're gonna
just
get him fired.
I'm gonna
Watch
get him
out.
fired. Yeah, he is a friend of Clarabelle and says it's the funnest hands down of all the things you could be.
That's great. I He's coming out here, right? And I think I'll get to meet him. I'm very
Yes.
excited. I
Yes.
didn't even know anything about this guy, but now I know he's Clarabelle and I want to be his best friend. So
You
it's
gotta
just
be his
gonna have to
bestie.
happen. Friends of
Well,
Clarabelle, I said it too. Dang it. Shoot.
is Clara. But I wanna are we gonna talk about some more Pride stuff?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted
okay.
to touch on, you had asked a really important question. You
Yeah.
said, why don't they have a Pride night at Walt Disney World?
Uh yes. And this question has been a hot topic amongst friends here in Orlando. Is like, why not? And it's a rhetorical question. I don't think we know the answers, but there's theories which are like it's a different
Florida.
demographic here.
Yeah.
Um, and then there are certain things like that I've heard. Well, I say I'm contradicting myself already because they do have I want to say a Christian night. I feel like I've been here when they've had that. They have
Oh,
like
that's
cheerleading night, but I don't know the
you're gonna get
boundaries
me
in which it's somebody renting out and then it's not them. Sometimes
right.
it's confusing. Like I like to make the Disney Gay Day Typhoon Lagoon feel official, but I know it's not because it's being chartered out and then it's Disney, it's the Gay Days company doing it at Disney. So I think what people are just really craving is, and it sounds so corny, but this is what DEI is about. People want Disney to officially, here at Disney World, to welcome us into their park for a night.
Right.
There's like
Yeah.
something about that. Like when Disney eventually did
True.
Disneyland's Pride Night that you got to go to, it was like, oh my God, it's real now. It's
Yeah.
not just something we make up outside of the
Do you
gates or
also
whatever,
remember the transition of when they went from calling it the Rainbow Collection to Pride
The
Collection?
Pride,
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, we don't know why it's in Disney World. What do you think?
I think it's because you guys just don't have any of these themed events, right? You don't have any after dark events like this.
That's a that's a pretty good point. Yes. The
I mean, that's
after
not the
hours.
only reason I think. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
that
think
is one
it's
of the big reasons.
it's all of those things. Yeah, even if I'm thinking like the Christian thing I'm mentioning, it's like during the regular hour, so you're just overlapping, which is similar again to Gay Days, which is not officially Disney. So you're right. The after hours here are really just for running through rides and getting free ice cream and stuff like that. It's not about the theme, and it's not even very crowded. And then they
It's
have these
also,
other
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, as just they have the other ones that are just seasonal. It's very specific, Halloween and Christmas. And then those other ones for hotels. And then the other one that we get confused about that's for DVC only is also not themed. I think it's called Minnie's Moonlight Magic. I can't remember. But yeah, there's no fun themes.
Yeah,
I'm
you guys
kind
are
of
missing out on all the after
I'm
dark
kind of
stuff.
jealous
Complete.
now.
Well, also and I don't know the numbers, but they've always said that about Disney World versus Disneyland is that we Disneylanders are annual pass holder local park versus Disney
Very,
World is
very
very
much.
much so a tourist traveling visitors guests park, right? So
Yeah.
like maybe they've tried stuff like this and it just doesn't have the turn up like ours do here. We're all desperate for new shit at Disneyland
Yeah.
all the time over here, right? Because we all go all the time. It's like, give us, like, feed us more. We will buy it all and we will go to all of it. Over there, maybe it's not as many people doing the same things, you know?
Yeah.
Even though
And
you
they've
seem to be
always
living
said
in that world. So,
that was the one of the reasons why we've officially heard Disney say they don't have the um Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas overlay in Disney World
oh,
is
yeah.
also because it's not as much a locals park as the West Coast. People come once every blue moon or 3 years, and they don't want to come there, and the Haunted Mansion's not there. It's gonna be
Yeah.
they'll be complaining that what is this Halloween version? Even though we love it, they'd want the classic, which I would totally understand if I went far and wide somewhere and then I'd just kind of be bummed. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
interesting stuff.
What else went down for Pride?
Oh, some really cool things happened over at the other woman's park, which is Universal, because we've all been cheating on Disney with Epic Universe and Universal lately. Uh, but you know what? I got to keep giving them what do they say? What do the kids say? Their flowers. Give them their flowers. They say something like that. But
I
I
don't
think,
know.
wow,
I miss out on all these
they they
sayings, especially what
they
kids are saying. I have
they,
no clue.
they earn the flowers. It's something like that. Someone's laughing at us that gets what the new slang is. But yes, Universal earned it because what they did this year was really special. Again, because it was an official event. So Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays and Sundays, basically weekends at Universal City Walk when some of the clubs are open. One of the places called the Coconut Club has become the Pride Bar, and it's a gay bar in Universal City Walk. I never thought I would see the day. That is
Right.
like so crazy. And so a couple of friends of the show, Nick and other people, have been going like every weekend. And so I finally went just the one time, and it was so much fun. Like, wow, because you have Universal's entertainment team who do like the Mardi Gras and Halloween Horror Nights and stuff, doing one themed just bar area. And it like floods out of it. So as soon as you walk into City Walk, you can't miss it. So you either decide not to go to it or you keep walking, whatever. You could see how cool it is. It's like 2 stories and then rainbow projections all over the place that are like going down on the gobos. They're called gobos on the sidewalk so you could see there. And then there's giant silt walkers, red, yellow, orange, green, blue, Roy G. Biv of every color with like feathers and big hats, men and women, sexy. You know, they can get away with that. Like these are
Yeah.
shirtless guys with bodies, body yada yada yada. And I'm pretty sure they're the same team members that do the Mummy. Because outside of the
hmm
Mummy ride, they usually have these hot like Egyptian,
Probably.
right? Yeah.
It's not everybody's a stilt walker,
Not
right?
everyone's a still worker and they get an extra shift at night. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So they're out there, and then they have like the fans with the pride thing on it, and then music bumping, bubbles just blowing everywhere. Like it just makes you want to like go and check out what it is, even if you are not gay or whatever. It's just like a cool bar. So you go all the way up and you go in. Yeah, it's 2 stories. So once I got in, I was like, oh my God, we're like in a gay club right now. Like, and I felt like we were on vacation too, because we were doing a staycation at the Riviera. So it felt fun. Like we could have been anywhere, like New York City, you could have told me. So it was fun. They had a DJ. The bartenders were super nice. They had a whole specialty cocktails menu with cocktails and mocktails that are all like Pride themed. One was very dangerous. It was like this punch that we kept drinking, and well, I had a hangover the next day. It was too sweet. Don't do it. But anyways, we had so much fun. The music was good. It was like typical, like like pop hits, but also um, from all eras. So it was like everyone was like singing along and having a good time, and it got pretty packed by midnight, which when it was when it closed. But we were there for a few hours, tons of dancing and tons of Disney crossover. Like Universal still, including myself, I'll wear Disney stuff to it. So
Hmm.
it honestly didn't feel like a city walk party. It just felt like, just
Excuse me.
that group of people that like to hang out and do these type of things. Theme
Hmm.
park people. Just fun, good energy. You could tell that the bartenders were having a good time. It reminded me of like some of the gay cruises I've been on where the cruise ship workers will say we prefer these chartered cruises because it's much more fun. Like the vibe is fun.
That's cute.
Um, then of course this is a bar at City Walk, so it is 21 and over. So there's that. That makes it nice. But what's funny is I think you had mentioned in passing like some of the music wasn't that great at was it Disneyland's Pride Night?
Yeah, yeah.
And so we try to think about why. And I want to say the music was good here at City Walk at this Pride bar, but we were trying to figure out if the DJ was straight because
Oh,
because
see?
yeah, it was good, but it definitely seemed like a Spotify Pride playlist.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I
Right?
would say that.
It
Yeah.
was just maybe a little less corny, like maybe they just happened to have some of the good, more modern. I don't know. It was good.
I'd say the Disneyland one was the Spotify Pride list, but cornier.
Corny or yeah, like a wedding version, like like
Yeah.
a wedding song. Yeah, so this one was okay, but I was starting to catch on to it. And then what we figured out that he was probably straight because our friend of Clarabelle, he went up to the DJ and said, "Hey, can you play Defying Gravity?" And the DJ did
He's
not
like,
want
no
to.
requests.
Yeah, he didn't want to. And by the way, nobody was requesting anything. Like we were dancing near the DJ most of the time.
Except for you guys. Shame.
Yeah, we didn't even request once, and it was just that we were like, "Oh, we really want to hear it right now." And then so we did like the sad face you do when the DJ doesn't take your request. And clearly he was straight because it wasn't working. We had four very handsome men. We all did the face, and it wasn't working. And then he
We all
goes,
did the face.
he finally goes, okay, I'll play at the end, like fine. And so we were just laughing because we're like, okay, we love you. You're an ally. You're here DJing. But like if the gays ask you at a pride thing to play a song that's a gay song, like Defying Gravity from We, you just say yes. Like, come on. So, anyways,
You
um,
don't request DJs
you
at
know,
all.
well,
0%. Anybody,
no,
PSA, nobody
no.
here should ever
Okay.
request a frickin' song from a DJ. Just don't do
I
it.
I disagree,
Shame.
and we both have DJ friends, and some just do it differently, and
Shame. No,
some do like to take
it's
requests,
a
and
very common thing for
no,
no request.
if
Shame.
okay, if you're a DJ, this is important. This person is playing a playlist. If you're a DJ, yeah, I'm not gonna mess up your set, especially if you're like a paid performer for that night, like someone came to see your set. But if you're just playing songs and you're disc jockeying and it's like a funny pride thing. I don't know. You're gonna take requests, and my whole point was, especially we were laughing because he didn't stereotypically wasn't gay, and we were laughing at that, and we're like, "No, we are the stars now. You better take our request." It was
That's
more
also
of a
funny that
funny.
they didn't find a. gay DJ. Like, come on. There's got to
Yeah,
be
I think it was just the
thousands
same.
right in that pocket right next to Universal.
We caught on that it was just the same staff of that bar. Like especially we were talking to the lady a
Oh,
lot and
from
like
whatever it was before.
yeah, she's just like she likes it so much better now as Pride Bar.
Aw.
Yeah, so it was all the same people, so we're just like we're glad they're having a good time. And we're just giving
Yeah.
that DJ a hard time. But the best part was the gays are always right. Okay, this is if we're talking about Pride, I'm going to take all the credit I want today. We are always right.
Pride's over.
Pride's over, but we are right in the moment because it was during Pride,
Yes.
and he played it, and not only did like the entire club shut down, people came running in from the sidewalk when they were hearing that everyone was singing Defying Gravity, and so it was the best way to like close out this night. You had two stories of people singing Defying Gravity, and people didn't even know the words. Like you're just feeling the energy of being in there, and it was just so fun. And the look on his face where he was just like, okay, yeah,
He's like,
like
fine.
I should have played. This is good. And come on, it's Universal. Like this is their property. We are giving this to you. Come on, guys. But it was such a moment. It was such a moment, and um, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't believe that was all happening like within a theme park bubble. Like there was moments where we would
Yeah.
keep turning to ourselves and we're like, "Oh my God, we're at City Walk right now. Like we could be in Vegas." Like you would look outside and see all the lights and the bubbles, and it could have been anywhere like Vegas, and it was here in City Walk, and it was really special. And
That's
one more
cool.
thing about the Defying Gravity was um at the LA Dodgers also did something that I want to give them a shout out. So they do a
Oh,
Pride Night
yes. Oh,
every year, and a lot of
there
these
you go.
sports teams do. But LA Dodgers did a Pride Night, and they ended their show with a wicked fireworks theme to Defying Gravity with the green and the pink. And I'm just watching this on Instagram, and I'm like already emotional. And I was like, that is so amazing. Now, if Epic Universe did a just wicked fireworks show, forget all the other IPs, it would kill. Like people would like it. It's good music, build up and fireworks, and I'm here for it, and I'm ready for it. There.
I can see why you're into Labubu.
Watch it by the next episode. I'm going to be talking about Labubu,
Stop
and we're
trying to
getting
make Wicked
we're
happen. No, I'm
getting
just kidding.
closer
Wicked
to
definitely happened.
November. The closer we get, the more Wicked comes creeping back on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's back in the theaters again, huh? Mm.
In the theaters, it's the conclusion, it's the final part. Wicked
Oh,
for
thank
Good is
God.
coming. Yeah.
Okay. That's good then.
Oh, and then we'll get into theme park rides. It'll keep going forever and ever.
Oh
You'll
my
never
goodness.
escape it.
It's fine. It's not that bad. I just like giving you shit.
But yeah, just to wrap up Pride Month, a lot of fun things. Disney did some things right, Universal did some things right, sports teams did some things right, and it's just nice to sometimes get together and have a true, fun, good energy, good vibes space to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have one more thing to add too.
Yeah.
So, couple things. At Pride Night, I did something different this time, and it was because I went to Company D. And what Company D is it is a cast member only discounted store, and things are like heavily, heavily, heavily discounted
Nice.
at this store. And there's like friends and family times, like dates that you can go. And I got an invite from a friend or whatever. And so I can go in during that time. And I went in and they had pride hats, like Mickey ear hats for a
99
dollar
cents.
each.
Yes.
99 freaking cents.
I bought one from Disney Character Warehouse. They had it for 99 cents.
Nice,
Yep.
nice. And so I bought 10 of them and I handed them out to people at
Oh,
Pride
that's
Night.
so
And it was
cool.
super fun.
I like that.
Like, one of the first, it was so funny. So I was at Samson and we're walking in. He drinks, I don't. So like we didn't drink before, just naturally. And we're walking in and there was this group of these three women standing at their car drinking and they're all decked out in their Pride stuff, right? So they're obviously going to Pride Night. And then he made a comment to them. He's like, "Oh, pre-gaming, that's awesome." And they're like, "Heck yeah, it's the way to do it." And then like, "You want one?" And he's like, "Sure." So we go over there and they gave him a drink. Like I think it's like a twisted tea or something. And then we're like chatting with them. They were super great, and we're about to leave. I'm like, oh, like give them some hats, right? So there's three of them. We gave them each hats, and they were like, oh my God. So it was like this super cute moment already. We hadn't even gotten out of the parking garage. Pride Night's already awesome. Like, heck yeah. And then we gave some more out to random people throughout the night, and it was just like adorable. And we at the end of the night we had a handful left that we had just like forgotten to be doing. At some point, we just like
Wow.
forgot about them,
That's
caught in the
such a
moment.
swell idea.
It was like $10 I spent to like make a bunch of people's
Yeah.
nights, and it was just super cute. And we at the end of the night I found a group of people that had the right amount of people as we had hats left, and I gave them all hats. And then we went and sat on the porch on Main Street. It was after the park was closed. They're kicking people out. And we sat on the porch just watching people. That was one of my favorite moments actually, because everybody was like dancing and just like being cute as hell on Main Street, taking fun pictures, like just super, super cute. And then we saw the people that we gave the hats to walking down Main Street with their hats on, and they're just all like, they're like hyped up a little bit more than they were when we saw them. I'm like, that's awesome.
That's so cute. You made 10 plus people's nights
That's
on Pride
right.
Night. Yeah. Love it.
So cute. Um, okay. Well, that's a wrap on Pride. I can't wait till next year. Highly recommended to join. You should come
I
next time,
know.
Mike.
I know.
It's worth the journey. It's a really fun evening. But let's move on to another event that you and I both got to attend. I've been talking about these on the podcast recently. These are the brand new D23 Spotlight series. And this time they had one here in SoCal, and then they also had the same presentation done later over in Orlando. So we actually both got to attend so we could talk about this together. And this was called 55 Years of the Walt Disney Archives. Um, it was pretty cute. We found out during the session that the reason they picked 55, I thought it was because 1955 is when Disneyland opened, even though this isn't the Disneyland archives. But just my head goes to that when I hear
Oh, okay. I was
55.
thinking that too right now. Yeah. Okay.
But what actually happened is COVID killed their 50th anniversary, right?
Oh,
It was
so
like
they were
five
going to
years ago right
celebrate it
now was
there.
like the height of COVID, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so they didn't get to do anything for their 50th. So they're like, let's just wait till the 55th. And then now they're celebrating it. So that's how that happened. Um, but what did you think about this? Or should we talk about the wrap up
Well,
after?
I mean, what I was going into it was expecting pretty much what they described it as. So, gold members join a behind the scenes exploration of how the archives collects, preserves, and shares thousands of historical treasures from its vast collection. And you and I have been to a lot of the archives exhibits at like D23, where you
Hmm.
can walk through. And so it's more like, oh, which things are they going to feature and what are we going to
Right.
learn about? So what did you learn about that you thought was exciting that you want to share?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys a little bit about the panel. There were some like highlights I really wanted to talk about. Um, but another thing that D23 does often are the studio tours, and then you get to actually go into the archives.
Ooh.
A portion of the archives, like the main lobby. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a part of the archives you get to visit. So I've done that as well. So if you want to go on the studio tour, check out D23 for that as well. But yeah, so let's see
I'm
here.
trying to
We all
hold up my. Do you have your lanyard from it?
Oh, I do. Hold on.
Lanyard, because this was a ticketed event. This was something that uh, D23 gold members, you would go
Hope you're not
um,
talking to me because I
and
can't hear you.
register. I'm just saying that it was one of these events to register and buy a ticket for. So when these things pop up, you got to run for it. Very cool lanyard. It says
Yeah.
55 with Mickey Mouse, dark burgundy. And then the giveaway, very impressed by the giveaway or the takeaway thing that we got. The gift. Is that what it's called?
That's not the giveaway.
I was
What
trying
is
I
that?
was trying to make you think that Disney World got cooler things at
What
our
the hell is
panel
that? It looks like
than
a
your panel.
Lush bath bomb or something. What is
Okay,
that?
so what I'm actually holding up is something I bought from Disney Character Warehouse for dirt cheap. It was like 11.99 or something. And it's pretty big. It's a porcelain thing, bookends. It's bookends.
Oh,
And it's a giant hot dog with Mickey imprint in the hot dog. Like now that I think about it, it's kind of gross. Like the pink of the hot dog when you cut it in half is Mickey Mouse shaped. But they had a collection called Disney Eats. It's like a housewares collection. I guess it didn't do very well. That's why it's at
yeah.
Fairground. But it's the strangest thing, so I got it. It's giving like PB Herman or something, so I had to get
I have
it.
to teach you how to, how to hold things up and let the camera get it right. You have to put your hand behind it.
Oh, it's
Have you seen that
huge.
in those
It's
videos?
huge.
Oh my God, hilarious. If for
Okay.
you're watching
So,
on YouTube, you saw that.
oh yeah,
There you
look.
go. See?
So
Boom.
this no, this panel, I was joking, did not have any gifts, right? We didn't get any gifts, but we did get a lanyard.
We got postcards. Did you get
Oh,
postcards?
postcards.
Yep. So we got a set of postcards that are all archive related, super cute. But yeah, that's it. I was actually impressed because these Spotlight series have not. Actually, I take that back. It was only the first one, but a lot of D23 events randomly will give you a giveaway that has nothing to do with what you're there for. You know what
Sure.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Like the first one I went to was Indiana Jones themed, and we got oh my God, what was it?
Tuffy the Bear.
No, I can't remember what it was, but it was definitely not Indiana Jones at all. We're like, okay, I guess. Oh, it was something like Red Panda. Yeah, it's a Red Panda patch from
Oh, Turning Red.
Turning Red. Like, what? I don't. They just have these laying around. They're like, here, we have 100 guests coming, and we have 100 of these patches that are left over.
There we go.
That's what it felt
Inventory.
like.
Clear it out.
Yep. Okay, so what are the Disney archives? And if this is just in case you aren't familiar with them, um, the archives are a place where Disney keeps things that are important to the company, like historical references, cataloging things as well, cells from movies and cartoons, anything that's like honoring the history of the company. Think like that. So they have like massive warehouse. They have ride vehicles all the way down to like a note that Walt Disney wrote to his secretary, right? Like everything they can have archived, they have that all in the Disney archives. Um,
And one thing that I think is cool about it, like if you worked at Disney, especially if you're like in the creative department or art department, you can go to the archives, which is part of the company, and ask to see things as references. You could say,
yeah,
"Oh, can you pull up that old menu or that map or that original maquette of Peter Pan's
I wish
shoulders?"
we
And
could do that for this
so
podcast.
cool, yeah. And then they let you see it, and sometimes they even give it to you on loan so you could use it to do your job. That's like having a private museum that you have
Totally.
access to within your job. Like that is so cool. I can't even believe it.
Have you ever done that at the library where you can say like, "Hey, I need a newspaper from 1987
Yes, the
or whatever"?
periodicals, the reference
Yeah.
books, and you can't take them out and you gotta like read them right
They have
there.
those crazy machines that flip. I don't even know if they have that anymore. Do you know what I'm talking about? The old
Yes,
school ones?
they did. They did. I don't know if they still have it. Actually,
Dang,
I
that's like a core memory for me.
yeah, and in
I would love to
every
play with those.
series, single, especially in the 90s and 80s movie, right? They'd be looking up stuff, especially horror movies. They need to like
Yeah,
find out.
crime movies and stuff. Yep.
So like
Silence
who
of the Lambs
died
for sure had one
in
of those.
that hospital in 1923 and you'd have to go through the archives.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. How
Um,
fun.
right? It was super fun. So the guests were also like a pretty crazy lineup that I wasn't expecting. And tell me, Mike, if these are the same people that you got to see. The night started off with Michael Vargo, who's the head of D23, and Becky Klein, who's the director of Walt Disney
Wait,
Archives.
Michael Vargo is more than just director D23. He's also our dear friend. We've met him several
We
times.
love Michael Vargo.
We
Yes,
love
we
Michael
do.
Vargo. If there's anybody that's a big Disney fan that should be heading up the Disney fan club, it's him. And we've even taken photos with him on Instagram. Love
So
him.
many times.
I hope
I even
I hope
have
he
ones that I
remembers
didn't
us as
post. There's that
fondly.
many. I'm not sure he has any idea who I am, but we know and love him. Let's just say that.
Yes, we do.
So it started off with them, and I thought one thing that was really cool was that Becky Klein pretty quickly went into giving a shout out to Dave Smith, who started the archives. He's now passed. unfortunately. But I just thought that was really sweet that they recognized him right as soon as the talk got
Didn't
started.
he we got his autograph in a book. Is that him?
We did. We did. We met him
Yeah.
at D23 one time. We
D23.
also went to the D23 event where they honored his window on Main Street.
Oh,
Remember
that's
that too?
right.
Yeah.
I think meeting him at D23 in the book, that's when I started realizing that this archives was more than just like collectibles. Like, wow, it's this entire
Right.
organization within Disney. Um, and to be able to have met him, that's really cool.
It is very cool. So one thing about the archives that we learned about Dave Smith was that he opened or started the archives on June 22nd of 1970. Um, and at the time, like other studios just weren't doing that. Everyone was like disposing of things or just like not keeping or cataloging or anything because just there weren't like just people weren't interested in the past yet like they were like we are today, right? For
Yeah.
whatever reason. That was kind of when it was starting to switch over and they're realizing we should really be saving this stuff. So he was given that task as a one-man show to like figure out how to archive everything that we've already had in this Disney company since 1923, right? Like up until now, and moving forward of how to keep that afloat. And then now, as of today, we are still, we, as I say we, as if I work there or have anything to do with the Walt Disney Company. The Walt Disney Company Archives is the largest archives in the entertainment industry. So super cool.
Wow.
Also, they were the very first archives in Hollywood. So the first studio to ever do it in Hollywood. Um,
Did
later
your
on,
did your people talk about um how they got more and more to put into the archives through those acquisitions, like Fox and having
uh, I
access, like
don't think so. Tell us a little bit about that.
they now can have access to like props from the original 1970s Alien movies by Ridley
Oh,
Scott, for example.
because it
Um,
back after they purchase it, it goes
yeah,
backwards also, right?
it
Backlog.
goes backwards. And I don't think they necessarily like moved the objects into the same building, but now they have access to wherever, Fox Century Studios was keeping their archives now. So,
Gotcha.
wow, I can see why it's the biggest. They have so many
That's
cool things
wild.
to see.
Yeah, I didn't think about that part of it at all. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So the next set of guests they brought up three Disney legends, which I was like, what? So Bill Farmer was there. He's the voice of Goofy. Disney legend Martha Blanding, who is a very brand new Disney legend as of last D23, which is super fun. She was a VIP tour guide amongst a million other things. She worked at Disney for a very long time. And Disney legend Don Hahn, who is a producer of some of our favorite Disney Renaissance films, let alone a whole bunch of other things that he's done in his past as well. And then they also brought up Kim Irvine, which I thought she was going to be part of the legends, and I forgot she's not yet. I'm sure she probably will at some point, but
Oh, I thought she would will too, yeah.
no, she's not yet considered a Disney legend, but she is an Imagineer and she's the executive creative director of Walt Disney Imagineering. So if anyone needs to get onto the legends list, I think that might be her. And then Justin Springer, who I wasn't actually familiar with him, and he is a producer of a lot of movies. And the one that he was really highlighting, probably because it's coming out soon, is the Tron series. So, and this
Oh,
is the new films. He's been the producer and of these films. Um, so the first thing I just want to talk about a couple of the highlights, if that's okay with you, Mike,
yes.
because so cute. So many things were said, and feel free to jump in at any point and comment along with me. But one of the first things is that Becky Klein, who is kind of the moderator of the panel now that's up on the stage, she brought up the Little Man of Disneyland. Are you familiar with the Little
Oh.
Man of Disneyland?
That's our favorite little guy that lives in the tree over in Adventureland.
He does. He's right by the entrance of Indiana Jones. And what I knew he wasn't there forever, but I didn't realize he was added there 10 years ago for the 60th anniversary. So Becky Klein reached out to Kim Irvine, who, runs the Imagineering side of things for the parks, and is like, what can we do to do some cool little project that like can be like an Easter egg or something that we could pull from the archives? And they worked together and came up with like the Little Man of Disneyland is perfect. And Kim Irvine said that the team, like the team who works in Disneyland, loves these projects, like even just as much as like creating a brand new ride is just like putting little hidden fun things for guests to discover on their own time. And she goes, and there's all this lore, like people swear that they used to visit the Little Man at Disneyland when they were a kid. I'm like, no, you didn't. This has only been here for 10
Mandela
years.
effect, Black
It's
Mirror,
pretty cute.
Barney's.
She goes, you may have read the book when you were a kid, but so cute. And then Kim Irvine came in, sending it right back to Becky Klein and saying, when it became time for them to recreate the Adventureland treehouse, taking it off of Tarzan, thank you very much. Which, by the way, saved the tree. Like, let's just get that straight. If it wasn't for Tarzan taking over, because we all hated Tarzan, at least I did. And so a lot of
What?
people
The movie
hated
or the
Tarzan.
tree?
The tree, the overlay of
Oh,
Tarzan.
I never hated it.
Oh, I hated it. It was just like fiberglass random characters thrown in the same
with
thing
the
we already knew. It
with
was
the scary
whatever.
cat.
Yeah, it's like rawr.
But
But
you're right, right? If they didn't put slap an IP on it, it would have just gone
yeah,
completely
there was like she goes,
bulldozed.
we weren't getting guests. It wasn't getting any,
It would have
traction.
gone the way
And
Tom Sawyer Island in Magic Kingdom.
yeah. Yeah. Oh no, R.I.P. Oh
Whoops.
my God. So again, it went back to this. It's now in that same rotation again, right? So like, how
Yep.
can we spruce it up again? And one thing that Kim Irvine was really passionate about was bringing back the water wheel, right? And it used to like
Oh,
carry those buckets of water up to the top of the tree and all that
yeah.
cool stuff. And so she reached out to Becky Klein at Archives and said, do you have any information on this? Like, what photos can you get me? What references? Is there measurements? Like, what can you get me? And Becky Klein's like, well, I have the water wheel. So she had the actual water wheel.
Wow, that's so
How cool is
cool.
that? Of course, it was not in any shape to be able to use it, but they were able to take it and give it to the manufacturer who's going to be creating the new one and have them mold it. So the water
Wow.
wheel you see now is literally the same as it's a replica, like an exact replica of the.
Wow.
Super, super cool. Some other highlights. Let's see. Justin Springer, when he was up there talking about the archives for the Tron movies. Oh yeah, this is another thing. When some of these people would speak, they would teach us like how they got to use archives, kind of like what you were saying earlier,
Yes, yes.
right? Like what it means to them in all these different fields of their work is so broad across the board of the speakers that you got to kind of hear it from a bunch of different angles, which is really cool. So Justin Springer did the Tron movies, and he says, "I was surprised. I felt surprised and delighted every time he went, and it was cute. It's such a cute way to say that.
Oh, yeah.
It is because he would go and always see something that he wasn't expecting, and be able to like really pull a whole new idea out of things that he would find in the archives from looking at the old Tron materials, and like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe." This was actually more complex. Maybe we should go into this on the new films and getting to kind of vibe off of those historical moments in the Tron history that maybe he didn't even know about, right? Tron was in the 80s. So,
Yeah.
like,
And he also did the animated series, which I'm reading there's like 18 episodes of the Tron Uprising series. So perfect example of having to go and see something in real world that existed that you now have to adapt into an animated format.
right?
And
Absolutely.
you can see it. Ah, that's a fun job to also be the like cataloger who helps them find what they're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
I'd be
that's so
like
interesting.
thrilled. I'm like, oh, we have it. Oh, we found it. Like, it's like a treasure hunt every time almost. So
Okay,
cool.
so I don't know if you're going to bring it up, but did Justin Springer tell you about the project he's currently working on that he's using the archives for?
Yes, but you tell us.
Wait, and it's not Tron Ares.
Oh, maybe not.
Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, so he did talk about Tron Ares, which is the new Tron coming
Yeah.
out. Um, but the one that blew my mind because we're usually on top of this stuff. So they're currently in pre-production, which they're doing a lot of archive work, looking at the original film. I'm not going to say the name yet. The original film, so that they can make sure it's getting adapted and paid homage to properly. And what I thought was interesting was the spaceship itself that he probably wants to see It's not in the
Stop.
archives. It's in Tomorrowland Magic Kingdom.
Stop it. They're not redoing Flight of the frickin' Navigator.
Flight of the Navigator. He's directing it.
What?
Coughing. We're so excited. We're
What
choking
do
on our
you
spit. Yeah,
mean?
this guy Justin Springer's doing it. So I hope
I
it's
just
good.
got flushed. You see how red I just got? I'm not okay.
I hope it's good. I'm so excited. It sounds like it's being created by a fan who's taking so much care by looking
Ugh.
in using the
Okay,
archives.
fair.
So we've got all that.
I'm having that
Um,
nothing is sacred feeling right now. I need to get over
nothing
it.
nothing is sacred. But yes, Flight of the Navigator is being remade, and
What the heck?
he
Oh my God, it's
dropped
a remake too.
he dropped a crisp. Actually, no, yeah, it sounded like it was a remake. I'm pretty sure. To your point,
This is
like maybe
according to Mike TV.
a sequel would be cool or something, but no, it's a remake. No, this is real.
What
It's
the
real.
heck?
But
Okay.
also great example of these panels is these are live. So the person can just word vomit whatever they want,
Yeah.
and it might be different from panel to panel. Yeah.
Also, it was like almost a month apart. So who knows? Maybe they couldn't
Yeah.
even talk about it by the time it was
He
at
had
mine
something
and then it
else on
moved
his
to yours. Who
mind.
knows?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Flight of
Oh
the
my
Navigator, yes,
God. I would
coming
have
soon.
screamed. He's probably happy he didn't mention it in front of me.
I was just more like mad that I didn't know about it. Like, what? This is so
I
cool.
still didn't know about it, and you didn't even tell me about it. What the heck?
Saving it. You got to save some things for the podcast, you know?
That's true. Oh my God. That's wild.
Yep.
All right.
What
Couple
a
other
rush.
highlights. Yeah. Martha Blending. So she was a tour guide, right? And she would use the archives all the time, and she'd go there and talk to Dave and get to explore things in the archives that they could use to entertain their guests on their VIP tours. So a wealth of information in the archives for Disneyland history and Disney history in general, right? So they would go there, touch up on, like if they know a guest is coming in that loves Haunted Mansion, they could go read up on the Haunted Mansion history or look at
So
something
cool.
in particular. And she said one thing she would use it for also is that when they have a special guest, if it was somebody affiliated with Disney, she'd be able to like look at their projects they did with Disney directly, and then she'd have a direct connection to discuss with them on their tours. So it just would make it a lot more personable. That was super, super cool. And she said in the crowd, tell me if she said this at yours too. She says that guests would always ask a lot of questions, right? But the most popular by far was, is Walt Disney frozen? Did she say this in yours?
I don't remember her saying that. I feel
Oh
like I
my
would have
God.
remembered. Did she go on and talk about like the head? Like how
No,
far did she go? Yeah.
not specifically the head,
Okay,
but
that I would have remembered.
yeah, she's just is Walt Disney frozen in general. And she goes, the answer is no. And then she's like, sometimes it wasn't even worth arguing because, of course, guests think that they know more than we do. She goes, but he's not frozen, so you can stop asking.
Yikes. I mean, and that combined with not so much the frozen head, but just like the whole Mandela effect thing that we talk about when we swear we remembered something at Disney in our childhood a certain way, and you could be talking to the person who made it, and you're still not going to believe them.
Yeah, yeah. You're
You're
like,
like, no, I
no,
saw it. I was there.
it's impossible because, yeah. Let's
Uh,
see what else here. Bill Farmer. So this is now the goof,
the
the voice
goof.
of Goofy. He talked about the archives and how it made animation become real to him. I thought that was really cute. He said being able to see the cells in person and things like the multiplane camera just really brought things to life for him. It was more than just something you see on a screen, and it was like tangible and real to him. And he says the archives are the junction between imagination and reality. Thought that was a great
Ooh,
quote. Super
yeah,
great quote.
I like that.
Don Hahn, he started working at the Disney company. I didn't know this. He started working there when he was 20 years old.
Oh,
And he got to work partially in the Disney archives at some point, but he originally started working in what they called the morgue.
ew.
he said he said this is where they stored all of the old animation and coincidentally where Walt Disney's frozen body is stored. And he looks over at Martha and she just gives him this dirty look. It was really cute and funny.
Nope, we didn't get any of the frozen banter. Someone told them enough of that.
Right. And so This was a while ago, and they were trying to collect all these things for the archives. And he had found all these old cells that are in like this boiler room that's like steam shooting out and it's like humid and not proper weather for anything fragile or, you know, cells from artwork. Ooh, I just hit my microphone. Sorry about that. But anyway, he found shorts from like Steamboat Willie and
That's
whatnot.
cool.
And so he was able to take them. He said he put it in a little red wagon and trucked it on over to archives to be put into the cataloging. So super cool. Um, and I'm just going to paraphrase him for a minute. Don Hahn is one of the best speakers I know. I'm just going to give him a shout out to that because this man, not only does he have a great voice for speaking and the way he speaks is so eloquent, but like the things he has to say are so meaningful and intentional. I love it. Like, oh, he's so good. So I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of what he said, but he said, sometimes I ask myself, why do we keep all this stuff, right? He's like, kind of like, is this archives thing kind of crazy? We're hoarders. Like, what is going on here? But he said it's because it's tribal knowledge. It's a shared collective consciousness that we all gather here for together. Like he was saying, today's Sunday, and we're all here reading and learning about the archives, right? Like that's what we are doing as this like tribal situation today. This is our form of a sacred experience to, and then we can pass it on to other
Yeah.
people. And I was like, wow, absolutely. I will be doing that on my podcast. And then he said, oh my God, I love this part. Disneyland isn't about roller coasters, it's about stories. Anything you experience at Disney is what separates us from everyone else. Stories are the way we learn, it's the way we figure out what it's like to be a human and how important it is to pass on or to pass that along to our audience, to each other, and gather like this. This is why we do what we do. Stories
Oh,
are the
I like that.
currency of our communication, and the more we can gather like this and share stories, it creates a sacred trust, and the archives are the keepers of that knowledge.
Wow.
What the heck, Don Hahn? Like, I just got chills even thinking it or saying it out loud. Just so good. Such a good speaker. I love him so much. Um, so that was the what I like, the highlights of the panel. And then there's a little bit after that about like actual archive things coming out. So is there anything else you wanted to add about the panel itself?
Not so much about the panel itself. I think that I'm happy that we're getting these. And it's like a good in
Yes,
between the D23 expos. Yeah.
totally. Absolutely. Yep. That's why I loved having the Walt Disney Family Museum because that would kind of fill that void.
Yeah.
Um, and this
And
does
the
as well. So
the cast members and then the panelists and the hosts at these so far have been like just real like casual. Like it feels really like
yeah.
behind the scenes and exclusive.
Yeah, it feels like we're all hanging out instead of it being so
Yeah.
formal, right? Yep,
Yeah. Love it.
totally. So then at this point, they brought out some of the employees of the actual archives, which was very cool to have them be part of the presentation as well. And they came out and they brought some items with them to show us. And part of this was already out. Did you get there and they already had some items out for you to view as soon as you arrived?
Yes.
Okay, so they had some of the things from the movies, some props from movies. So they had BB-8 out for you to take a look at. They had Cinderella's glass slipper from the live action. They had one of the Mickey Mouse plush dolls from the 30s. That was super cool.
That style
Um,
too, that style of Mickey Mouse.
yeah, that
Very
specific
unique.
doll
Yeah.
that was created. Yeah, it's like one of the first Disney or Mickey dolls. Winnie the Pooh live action reference from Christopher Robin, the
Yes, the
movie that
one
came
with
out.
Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
Yes. It's very cute and furry. It looks a little bit like a cross between the original uh Pooh before Disney and then the new one because it still has a little red
And
shirt and
Duffy.
everything.
Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he looked like very loved also. He was
Yeah.
like beat up a little
Yeah.
bit, but it was cute.
I haven't seen that movie. Whoops.
Me either.
Whoa. Yeah, because he's older. Christopher Robin's older and they come back.
Yep, yep.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Here's your sequel. They also had a Mickey Mouse book. It's like supposed to be Mickey Mouse's book, I guess. This is a giant, oversized story prop book that they used from the Disneyland TV special in the 50s, like 1954, I think it said. And they had three figures, animatronic figures of the ghosts that follow you home. That's right, the hitchhiking ghosts, the
Woo.
ones that are only half up because they are the ones that sit next to you in the doom buggies. Very cute. So those were all out for you to like take a look at while people are getting in and seated and all that fun stuff. Um, but they also brought out a few items during the presentation to give a little more what's a back talk? That's not what
Backwash?
background, backwash, back talk, background on the items themselves. And one of the people they brought out quite a few instruments. And when I say instruments, I mean items that they made into instruments. For instance, like ceramic jars that they used on the original Snow White from 1937. And turns out, and I thought this was pretty cool, the director of the new live action Snow White that just happened, this actually made me respect the movie a little bit. They went to the archives. Of course, they navigated all through the archives for this movie, and they used the same exact ceramic jugs to recreate sounds for the new Snow White. I thought that was pretty cool. Little history in that new mishmash of whatever it was.
Yeah, and those
Um,
are the type of things like if the movie was good, then people would be able to celebrate that stuff and be like, oh, the sound
I
actually came
know.
from
Like,
the blah
oh,
blah.
this is
Because
even that. It's so cool.
it seems like people tried their best in certain spots of that movie.
Yeah, yeah, there is
The
some
art
good souls
department
in there somewhere.
did.
Um, there was also I don't even know how to explain it, but a couple other instruments that were really just made out of weird things put together that ends up making them the exact sound you would need for a film. So we saw some from Bambi as well and the Rescuers, like the little dragonfly in the Rescuers. There was that sound. And then we moved over to the Muppets and we got to see Kermit come out from the 80s, like 1989, a Kermit puppet that Jim Henson Jim Henson himself had used and puppeteered. So that was Kermit. And then he had his banjo as well. That was from 1979. And we always love to see Kermit playing his little banjos. So you got to see those together. And then they also had, now this one was weird for me, the banjo from Muppet Babies in the 80s. But was there ever a Muppet Babies that
It was always a
wasn't
cartoon.
cartoon? Maybe it was a reference model and I missed that part
Maybe
of it.
that Kermit plays.
Yeah, because it was definitely a real one that we saw in person. It was so cute. It had like the strings, it was just like twine, and then it was attached by like one of those giant baby pins. You know what I'm talking about? The diaper
Yeah,
pins.
the big safety, like Huey, the duck. What is that called? Dewey the duck. That
Oh,
big
do
one
they
with
have those on their diaper?
with the
Wait, those are
diaper.
diaper, those are
No,
their
it's a
bottoms.
non-Disney. It's a non-Disney duck that wears a diaper. Do you know what I'm talking about? Dewey Duck or
No.
something.
Howard the Duck? What are you talking about?
No, no, it's called um Baby Huey, I think.
Oh, Baby Huey from Roger Rabbit.
Oh, is that where it's from? And where's a giant diaper with a
Yeah.
safety pin?
Where's a Baby Herman? Shoot.
Okay, so I was while we were talking, guess what I found?
What'd you find?
There are Muppet Babies that are live action puppets.
Oh,
Um, this
I
was like
guess they did do something with that. I
in
never
like
saw it.
the 20 teens, kind of Sesame Street like. Yeah. So it's
Oh.
after our time, but he has a banjo. Yep, he does.
This one was labeled from 1980s. So I still don't
Interesting.
know, but Muppet Babies. Do 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 do
Dream
do
come
do.
true. I my introduction to the Muppets was Muppet Babies,
Me too.
right? And I thought
Actually, well,
I
I don't
thought it was
know.
weird, like the Muppet Show. When I found out that they were grown, I thought it
I
was
think I
weird.
did already know the
Oh,
Muppets,
you
but
did.
not as well. I got really into Muppet Babies first. That was probably my first Muppets I like really liked.
Like I still prefer like Gonzo from Muppet Babies over the adult one. It's weird.
Like I can't remember what was that woman's name? She's a singer with really long hair. Crystal, was it Crystal Lake? Crystal
The nanny,
Waters? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Crystal Waters, 100% pure love.
I don't know. I don't even know what kind of music I just know she would play guitar, and I remember she was on a special with the Muppets at some point.
Oh,
Anyway, as long as very little, that's how my memory is. It's just like
Crystal
here's
Gale
something.
performed the
Crystal
song
Gale.
River Road and We Must Believe in Magic. 1977 Muppet Show. Wow.
Cute.
Cute.
So yeah, somehow I was watching that. I don't know how. And then they had two other items, which I thought this was kind of impressive because it's super recent. They had the Scrump doll from the live action Lilo and Stitch, which just came out. So it was super cute to be able to see that.
I feel like they're also selling that
Oh,
merch.
really?
Yeah, I think so. Or it's yeah, there's a new I saw a new Stitch or something. He's holding it or something. Yeah.
Oh, merch of it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think they've always had merch of that. Like I
Oh,
have a
okay.
little toy with it on it, also from way back when.
Cute.
Yeah. And then they also have the gun, and I don't know how to even say this. I wrote something really wrong down. I said gun used in film to create transportation holes.
Oh, yeah, the things that they would walk through.
Yeah. What is
Transportational
that called?
portal, maybe
Portals.
portal.
Just portals, not even two words. Yep. Portals. But what's it called when you go from one place to another?
Teleport? Tele
Teleportation. That's the word I was looking for. Transportation. All right. Teleportation holes,
Actually,
aka
we're gonna
portals.
call it now teleportal. That makes the most sense.
Teleportals. That's right. I love that. So yeah, so they had all those items out. They told a little bit about each item and the care that they need to take to keep them in the archives properly. And then we all got to go get close looks and take photos. And yeah, it was really, really cute. So, what did you think of your first Spotlight series, Mike?
Excuse me, this was not my first. I went to see Jodie Benson.
That wasn't a Spotlight series, sir.
Wait, it wasn't.
No,
What was it?
that was Lunch with Jodie Benson. That was another
Excuse,
D23 event, but it wasn't like a
excuse
panel, right?
me. It felt the same.
Was there a panel? Like, was there a format where she would go up on stage and tell things?
Yeah, yeah, all
Oh,
the
it should have been
stories
then.
about the things.
I thought she was
Um,
just wandering around the way you told me about it. It was like, oh, she just came and hung
oh
out
no, that was
with
the
everybody. I was
beginning.
like, what the heck?
He
That's
told,
crazy, but it's cool.
well, if you were there on our episode, we talked.
I could have sworn that's what you said. She
I'm
just
just
like
kidding.
talked to you
The
guys.
thing that I got out of hers was the refresher. Remember, we were talking about how she would like refresh out characters.
Yeah,
Yeah. And this is why these things are so fun because they will just say what's on their mind. If they have something they want to talk about that was not as part of the bullet points, they will
I
go
love
off
it.
sometimes. But if my first official D23 Spotlight series that is meant to sort of mimic the panels, like you're saying, at the expo, I thought it was good. I mean, I always get bored anytime people are just talking for a little bit too much. I get distracted. It's my own self. But I thought, yeah, they all had enough time to talk about something exciting and something practical that they got to use the archives for, since this one was the archives.
Yeah,
And this one was at Disney Springs. So then you leave and you're still at a Disney place, which was actually pretty nice. So yeah, here for it.
that's awesome. Yeah, I like how I feel like all of the Disney Spotlight series I've done or D23 Spotlight series I've done so far have gotten very personal. So
Yeah.
like, they just talk whatever and they're like it's a little more real than like watching on like the Imagineering story on Disney Plus. It's like you get to it's like you're like you said it's very casual. You're in the room. They're just really themselves and they share these personal stories and you just get a little more value out of hearing these
Did
panels
people
than you do
stick around
elsewhere.
and like talk to them and take pictures at yours?
Um,
I'm always too embarrassed. Like if you're not
no,
with
I don't
me,
think so.
if it's not you and I don't go up.
Yeah. No, I don't think I think the panelists left pretty. Oh yeah, because all
Oh,
the
okay.
panelists were already gone before the archive stuff came out,
Oh, okay.
like the
Yeah.
items. And then they didn't come back out. So
Even with the Jodie Benton one, they like flock to them, and I'm like, oh, I
I
don't know.
know. And I feel bad too. I'm like, oh, I don't want to just treat you like that either. I get so awkward about it.
Yeah,
I
right.
overthink it so much.
But
But
these
there's already
people
like
to
a
us,
hundred people doing it. Huh?
like some of these are like even like an Imagineer might get overwhelmed. I think when we saw one of the legend ceremonies, they even said they're not used to getting the attention. They're like behind the
Right.
scenes. So then we're like, but they're celebrities to us because we know everyone has like an Imagineer that did something really special that means a lot to them.
Yeah, like they could probably all walk down Hollywood Boulevard and not have anybody say a word, but you put them in a building full of
Yeah,
D23 Disney hardcore fans, like we're all over them, right?
so cool.
It's so funny actually when you see like Tony Baxter, for instance, because he's so popular, roaming around the show floor at D23, there's always people like coming up to him and you could tell he's always like, I don't like not really used to it, but it's great. Um anyway, so that was that. It was super good. I loved all these spotlight series so far, and I really like that you enjoyed it as well. Kim Irvine being on that panel was really interesting because right after she announced her retirement. So I was like, oh shoot, I just saw her talk like a couple days ago. Now the announcement's out that she's retiring. It was kind of crazy. So I'm gonna cover a little bit about Kim Irvine either on a episode coming up soon or I might wait until her actual retirement. But
Ooh.
we'll be talking more about her in a little bit. There's a lot of fun stories about her history at the Disney company that I think is fun to share. So, yeah. Well, today we talked all about Pride and what that looked like in new spaces in Orlando and repeated spaces like Disneyland for Pride Night. We also talked about the Santa Ana Flea Market and local events going on. Shout out again to Miro Originals and Outer Child. Check them out on Instagram. Go buy their stuff. They're amazing and great people. Um, and of course, we also talked about 55 years of the Walt Disney Archives.
Well, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed episode 247 of the Disney Holic Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disney Holics.
And if you want to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Okay,
Okay, bye.
bye.